So before we even jump into anything, if you want to apply some of the stuff that you got in the last one to like your notes or character sheet or whatever, we could go ahead and...
Yeah, let me go ahead and grab my notes. I forgot about that. Alright, how am I supposed to update my character sheet on the D&D Beyond, whatever?
Okay, so I did this last night after we got off. I actually went back and updated Jeklar's. So when you go to the actual sheet on D&D Beyond, right beside your character's name, near the top left, there is a gear, which will allow you to click on it and scroll down and click on Edit Character.
Alright. Do I hit Edit Character or Manage Levels?
Do Edit Character because it'll allow you to do both of it from there. Manage levels, it actually refers to your class levels, not your character level. And if I'm being honest, I currently don't know how your class level increases. I will touch on that, but I haven't quite got there yet.
Are you good, bro? You good, bro?
So, first thing it'll pop up is you'll be on the class page, I believe. So, right under your level, it should have a Manage XP thing. And you likely have 0 XP, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it has 0 XP, but alright, I'm on I guess the class screen. It says level over here, level 1. Do I just bump that up to 2, or?
No, there should be a button under it that says Manage XP. Is that the page you're on?
Yeah, now I see it. Manage XP.
And when you click on that, at the bottom, there is a little box to type in that says Add XP. You gain 125 XP already.
Alright, apply 125 XP.
You've got a couple things. So next, you want to just skip over to number 5, which is your Equipment tab, I believe. And in there is a thing that says Currency.
Alright.
So for gold, you ended up making 21 gold. So I don't recall what your current amount is, but you'll just want to add 21 to that.
Alright, well I had 10, so I guess that's 31.
Alright, and you also did manage to get 16 silver pieces.
Alright, 16 silver pieces.
So in other possessions is where you're putting your, like, random stuff, right?
Guess so. Yeah, other possessions, all it says is a quill and a letter from a dead colleague.
I'm just trying to think where you put stuff last time. There is a page. Maybe it was on your actual description page. For that, personally, I would just do it in your other possessions and equipment. Just because we'll be able to look back exactly there and know where it is, rather than having to dig through the actual character and stuff.
Alright. Do you remember how many arrows and whatnot I had?
I do. So you have 25 arrows left and 21 bolts.
Alright, arrows how many?
25 arrows.
And bolts and darts, how many of those I got?
21. I just have bolts written down. I didn't really think of bolts and darts as different. They may be, and I'll address that later. But for now, let's just say they're 1.
Alright.
You obtained 1 potion of healing yesterday, and you obtained one originally from one of those knight guys, so you should have 2 potions of healing.
I got that wrote down in my notes.
Alright, and one other thing you should have is you got a Blood Rain token yesterday. That's spelled just like it sounds, Blood Rain, but one word.
Got one of those. 1 of 1. So I did not level up. I still have 7 health, right?
Yes.
Alright. I feel like that bandit leader should have gave me a level up.
Well, I felt, for one, the typical bandit only gives you 25 experience because they have a challenge rating of like 1/4. And mostly, he was just badass in title, if that makes sense. So,
Alright.
Alright, so, would you like to begin?
Let me save this stuff to my character sheet, and I guess, yeah, I'll be ready to start. Let me find where I can save this at.
Full warning, I did not specifically planned this one out as much as I did the rest. This particular session, I didn't even really know we was going to end up doing it today, so it may not be quite as fluent as you're hoping. We'll see. I'm just going to roll with it and do my best.
That's the plan, man. Just roll with it, man. That's sometimes you like Aragon was pretty much written based off of Christopher Polini's playthrough in D&D.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Alright, so if I remember correctly, Jeklar and Oromis were last. They had just collected the stuff from that guy named Martin, or Martron.
Martron.
Yeah, Martron, okay. So you had just turned in to Martron and kind of wrapped everything up with him for the time being, and I believe you guys were about to head back to the Watchtower?
No, I think we, last night, we finished that quest with the bandits, killing the dude's father and bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And, we went back to the Watchtower to sleep for the night, and then we left the Watchtower and I guess to go see Martron, and that's where we kind of left off.
Alright, so we'll take it from there then. As Jeklar and Oromis make their way back to the Kingdom's Fountain of Display, they do not see Martron outside today, but there is a woman standing directly in front of the fountain, and she looks very eager, like she's looking off in your distance, and just from what you can tell, she's likely been waiting a while. She's very eager about something. You have your dice and stuff, right? Or your roll thing, right?
Yeah, I have the thing on D&D Beyond for me to roll.
So, you're approaching the fountain. You can see this woman's kind of real antsy. She's waiting. What would you like to do?
Describe this woman to me, if you don't mind, since I can already see her.
So, she is a human. She's not very tall. I'd probably say she looks about 5'6" tops. She has her hair up in a ponytail. It is a dark brown, almost black, really. And she's just wearing your typical, like, medieval housewife clothes type deal. She got, like, the little blue and gray dress with the little apron part on the front of it. She definitely has the appearance of the average housewife of the times.
Okay. Alright, Jeklar. I think that lady over there is waiting for us to show. You should talk to her first.
He looks up and down and he says, "Okay, I believe I've seen her a few times before." He walks up to her and she immediately says, Are you the guys? Are you the guys? I could really use a hand." Jeklar kind of nods to her and then looks over to you. "You want me to get this?"
Yeah, go ahead, Jeklar.
Jeklar turns to her. How may we assist you?" "Please, sir, I need a big favor. My husband has heard of your tale. He's heard there are adventurers out here, and he's so convinced he can make a fortune doing the same thing you do. He wants to be this big, flashy mercenary, and I really am so tired of hearing about it. It's only been a day, and it is his every breath and thought. I was really hoping, perhaps, you could take him out and just pretend to be one of his clients. I'll give you the money to pay him. You just pretend to be his client and get this out of his system." Jeklar kind of scratches his chin, looks her up and down, and then he turns to you. "I think this one's on you, boss man."
Well, Jeklar, I guess we could do this, if you wouldn't mind. What kind of quest should we send this guy on?
And you're asking Jeklar or her?
I'm asking Jeklar, but if she wants to, say something too, she can.
Jeklar kind of thinks about it for a moment. I really don't know specifically, but we just got the information from Martron yesterday. Perhaps maybe we could let him tag along to the Produce Village.
Oh yeah, that's right, Produce Village. That sounds like an excellent idea, Jeklar. We could probably do that.
As soon as that comes out your mouth, she kind of runs over to you and she's like, thank you so much, mister. And she pulls out a little sack of money. This is 20 gold pieces. This is for you to give to him and to hire him. She does air quotes and everything. Please, I just want to be over this already. I don't think he's up to the standards this job takes like he thinks he is.
Alright, we'll take him with us, and I'll do my best to make sure he does not get killed.
She kind of grasps her chest, like she puts her hands to her chest in a thankful manner. She says, thank you so much, but please don't let him know I hired you. This will mess it all up and he'll know it's not genuine.
Okay. It's a genuine quest he's gonna go on, though.
She kind of doesn't really say too much about it. She's just overwhelmed with joy that you're willing to assist her. So she hands you the bag of 20 gold.
Where is your husband at, lady?
If you just go a little bit past the fountain, there's a little trading area up ahead. He should be out there somewhere. You'll know it's him because he wears this red vest every single day. And I mean that, every single day.
Alright, Jeklar, let's be off.
He nods, and then y'all head on y'all's way. I'd say this is probably like a 15-minute walk, tops. You know, at this point, it's not completely scenery. You know, there's like a lot of actual like little huts and stuff, like made out of brick. I don't know if a hut can be made out of brick, but there's tiny houses at least. And you eventually make your way to like a little market area, perhaps. It's a bunch of like small carts. You ever seen Avatar the Airbender?
Oh yeah. Earth Kingdom style?
Yeah, well, okay, so you know the cabbage guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of people out here with similar vibes to that, and most of it is produce, and you can see a lot of their stores have very terrible selection, like for instance, the cabbage cart, he does not even have a third of a cart full, and this just kind of tells you how bad the produce situation is. Nobody here has a full supply, except for the guy who has beets, because nobody likes beets.
Nobody likes beets.
Mm-hmm. And it just so happens the man at the beach cart is wearing a red vest, and he has blonde hair.
Just for the record, she said her husband had the red vest and blonde hair, right?
She didn't say the blonde hair part, but she did say he wears a red vest every single day.
Okay. I probably should have asked this lady for his name and her name. But I did not. Okay.
It happens.
So, I approached the guy with the red vest.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I heard there's people around here looking for an adventure. Could you point those guys out for me?
He kind of makes a really surprised face, and he puts his hands on his hips. And he was like, Are you joshing me? He looks to his right, and he looks to his left. You must be joshing me. I'm the only one seeking adventure right now. But I'm not just seeking any adventure. I'm seeking your adventure, and for a small fee, I will guide you on this adventure.
A small fee, eh? How does 10 gold pieces sound?
My going rate is normally 20 gold pieces. So at this point, if you would like to try and persuade him to take 10, I'll have you do a perception or a persuasion roll.
I don't know. This guy has apparently heard of me, so he might be a fan.
It's valid as well.
Perhaps you've heard of me. I am Oromis, and this is Jeklar. Maybe I can persuade you to take 15 gold pieces.
He scratches his chin and looks at the two of you. Oromis and Jeklar, you say?
Yes.
I don't know these names, but by your attitude, I'm assuming you are a bandit hero, aren't you?
Yes, that was I.
He nods his head. Much appreciative for the work you've done. I would like to say I'll take 15, but if you just take a look at the market, times are rough right now. I'm not sure I could go less, especially at the risk, but it will be well worth your money.
Damn it. Uh,
That's not to
alright,
say you
well,
can't do it.
nah. If he's having a hard time, I already see he ain't selling no beats.
He's a bad producer.
Alright, well, I'll give you 20 gold pieces. But you better make it worth my while.
He nods up and down. I certainly will. And I'm assuming you're extending out the 20 gold to give to him?
Yep.
He extends his hand out, and he grabs it with a big old grin on his face, and he sticks it in his pocket. My wife is going to be so happy. Let us begin this journey. Are you aware of all the details? You know what we're doing? What's the game plan?
I ain't gonna lie, Dustin. All I remember is the damn produce farm. What were we supposed to do again?
Well, the gist of it was just to basically go to this produce village and find out why they haven't been sending these big shipments like they used to. And it is within the kingdom. It is quite a little bit away for sure, like farther than any distance you've traveled so far throughout the game. But basically, your plan is, or the mission is to go to this place and solve it.
Alright. I'm about to get back into character.
Okay.
Well, the gist of the situation is, as you can see all around you, the produce is not flowing in like it's supposed to. And we're going to go to the produce farm to see why. Are you up for it?
He kind of grabs his pocket and jingles it. I think I may be. I'm ready when you are. Real quick, I did forget to do one thing, and I need to do that right now.
Go ahead. Is his level randomly generated, or does he start at level 1?
I honestly think he's going to be level 1 because this is going to be the first mission he's ever done, and he has no real
experience.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just imagine if you're just sitting here and all the the sky is just being created in front of you.
Hell yeah.
Alright, good enough for me.
I do have a question though.
Alright.
On this character sheet of mine, it has a little, like a green circle with the A in it. And it says, against being charmed and magic can't put you to sleep.
So that means you have advantage is what that is. So let's say another wizard tried to charm you into falling in love with him or to falling in love with the enemy, so suddenly you would run up to it like it was your friend and get killed. You would just basically get to roll and pick the higher of the two, or the better of the two. Let's say you needed a 17 to avoid being charmed. You could roll a 6 and then re-roll and take whichever number's higher. And the part about not being able to put you to sleep through magic, I don't think you need advantage. I think that just is a part of you. There's nothing that can put you to sleep by magic.
Oh, hell yeah, that's going to come in handy.
It definitely will, but I'll leave that at that.
I could only imagine we're going to come up against some, like, succubus or something that's going to put me and Jeklar to sleep, and I'm going to be like, nah, ain't about to happen.
Oddly enough, Jeklar has those same benefits that you do, because Jeklar, I don't know how much you know about his character.
It's because we're elves, I think.
Actually, that probably is, because y'all are both high elves, and y'all both happen to be wizards.
Damn, he's a wizard? I want his suit. Whenever I picture Jeklar in my head, I picture, what's his name from Skyrim? The fucking Dark Brotherhood jester.
Oh yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about. There's a video game from back in the day. It's Devil May Cry 3, I believe. You ever played?
Oh yes, I have.
Well, there's a jester character in that. That's a bad guy or something. And I just kind of took his costume in my head and put it on this guy, this random high elf.
Shit, Jeklar ain't no random high elf. He's about to become a main character. What the fuck you talking about?
Well, okay, valid.
We should probably get back to the game, though.
Alright. So the man whose name was it, did I say his name?
We haven't given him a name yet.
Okay, well, the man, he's kind of pumping himself up. He's getting ready, doing like a little, bouncing up and down thing with his hands, like he's raising himself up, you know? And he reaches behind him, and he pulls out a long sword. He says, "All right, boys, let's do this." Jeklar nods. He kind of rolls his eyes a little bit and looks at you, and then looks back to the guy and gives him kind of like a fake smile with a thumbs up.
I do the same, fake smile and thumbs up.
Alright, so you, the three of you, Jeklar, Oromis, and this unnamed man, y'all head on your way back towards the watchtower. And yeah, that probably doesn't take you too long, but y'all make it there. And the nice carriage guard guy, whoever he is, he smiles at you guys as he lets you out, and he says, "Come back now, you hear?" And you guys are now leaving the kingdom. Well, not the kingdom, but the gate.
The town.
Thing. Yeah, the town area. You know, the guy, he looks at you and he says, "You know, if this is the produce village I'm familiar with, this is a very long journey. I expect us to be gone for a few days minimum."
Did you pack anything to eat?
I do have a little something. I think you'll be very happy with it. He turns and he pulls his book bag off, and he kind of looks around like it's real secretive, and he lifts the lid up a little bit, and you can see it's an entire bag of beets.
Can you make anything good with beets?
He scratches his head. I haven't the slightest idea of what you mean. I don't know that there's anything better than a beet.
Well, you'll be eating that for dinner.
Alright. Y'all are basically just traveling through a whole lot of woods. Nothing really too crazy going on up until, I'd say it's roughly been 4 or 5 hours of y'all just having some light talk, and you're heading down this road. Before y'all proceed any further, is there actually any specific dialogue you would like to approach with this guy?
Yeah, I have a couple things I want to say to this guy.
Alright.
Alright, guy. What's your name?
He smiles. You don't know my name yet. Silly. My name is Alvon.
Alvon? Do you have any wife or kids?
I do have a wife. No children. We just, beets are big sellers, but it's not the right time right now until, we'll get there one day. But I do have a wife. She's a lovely lady and very great person.
Well, I guess that's all I really wanted to ask him. We can continue to where we're going.
So, I'd say y'all probably travel for about another hour, and you're basically just following a trail down the middle of these woods. Roll a perception check for me.
D20, right?
Yes, sir.
So, this +4 on my perception, I'll add that to it, right?
Correct.
Alright, let's see what she rolls. Ooh, 18 +4, so 22.
Oh, a 22. Alright. Before you even take another step, you can see something hanging in the middle of the road, but hanging like it's coming down from treetops that kind of archway over the road. And you can see something, whatever it is hanging, it's going back and forth, almost like a pendulum.
So I see something that's hanging in the middle of the road like a pendulum.
And I'd say this is probably about 200 feet away.
Alright, have I entered the woods yet?
So basically, let's say this whole time you are in the woods traveling, but you're following a path. It's just like taking a dirt road, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay, so me, Jeklar, and Avalon, we're gonna start sneaking off into the left of the forest, but staying kind of close to the path, about maybe 20 feet away from it, and we're gonna kind of creep up.
Alvon did fail his perception check, so he did not see it, so he's just kind of following behind you, and he's kind of got a weird look on his face. He kind of whispers to you, Hey, you know I'm supposed to run this show, right? I think that's what you're paying me for. Why are we hiding in the woods?
Shut up unless you want to fucking die. The reason we're sneaking is something is hanging in the trees in the woods.
He kind of frowns and he gives you like a real heart-shaking glare, just to tell you his feelings are hurt a little bit. And he kind of ducks down with you and Jeklar, and he starts looking over there real hard. Oh, you know what? I do think I see something. What is that?
We're trying to get closer and find out. About how far away am I now, Dustin?
So it was about 200 feet away, so I'm going to say you were able to go pretty much 100 feet close before you kind of felt sketched out a little bit. Roll me another perception check.
Yeah, I want to be able to see what this damn pendulum is. D20. Roll. A 14 plus 4, that's 18.
Alright, so as you approach a little closer, this swinging pendulum-like item becomes a little more clear. It seems to be a big white ball following a white rope going up, and something is moving inside of it. You can see it wiggling around, but you can't really tell what's in it because it's covered by the white stuff.
Alright. So, and I'm about how far from it again?
I'd say about 100 feet.
Alright. I'm going to still hang out into the left side of the woods of the path. But I'm going to sneak up closer. And I want to try to get to 50 feet and maybe do another perception check if possible.
What's your armor class? I think that's like a 12.
12.
Okay, well I just lost one of my dice, so I will go for that one later. Alright, so suddenly a white string shoots directly towards you, but there's kind of a breeze, and the white string just kind of, as it's shooting, it's like misdirected, and it hits a tree beside you. And I'm going to need you and everybody to roll for initiative.
Alright, initiative's a D20, right?
Actually, roll a 10. I believe you're supposed to use it.
Alright.
Roll for Jeklar. Jeklar got a 4.
I got a 4.
Alright, so Jeklar got a 4 and his dexterity is 14. No, yours is 14 and his is 13. So that will put you before Jeklar. Alright, so you have a chance to do something now, if you would like.
Okay, so I'm fighting this white ball that's hanging in the tree.
So it would seem. You can give me a perception check one more time if you'd like.
But that would cost me my turn, right?
Nah, not for this.
Okay, I'm gonna do a perception check. Alright, D20. Son of a bitch, I caught a 2. Perception plus 4, I got a 6 in total.
With the 6, I will say this. You have no idea where that white string came from that shot at you, but you do know it did not come from that swinging thing in the air.
Okay, so... Shit. I know it's not coming from the white thing. Fuck. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull out my longbow. And, I'm gonna try to shoot that motherfucker out the tree. Like, shoot the damn rope that it's hanging from.
Alright. Give me a athletics check.
Alright, athletics check. I don't have any modifier for athletics. Damn. Alright, so it's just 1d20. Let's see what we got. I rolled a 9.
Alright. So, as you shoot over, and make sure to note that, would you shoot arrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, note that you use one arrow. Just keep up with that and make sure you're jotting it down, alright? But as you shoot, your arrow goes, I'd say, a good 5-6 feet to the right of this thing hanging. Really, before your arrow even hits the ground, something leaps down right on top of the white ball. And what you see is, I'd say this is probably about 10 feet tall. What comes down from the tree is a massive, hairy, intimidating, giant spider. And he leaps right down on top of what you now can tell was something enchambered in his webs. And this spider is probably about 50 feet from you all at the moment. And it is now Jeklar's turn. Jeklar is going to...
You said he's a wizard. He don't know some fire or something?
Well, you haven't had a lot of dialogue with him, so there is more to why he is not using anything like that, but your character wouldn't know yet.
Okay. Alright.
He's gonna bust out his longbow real quick and see if he can't make a shot at this bad boy. And that I'm going to do in acrobatic checks. Or no, athletics. I don't know if when it comes to shooting, I think of it being as sportsy. People who professionally shoot at targets for a living and stuff. So I've been thinking athletics. If you feel another skill would make more sense for this, I'd be interested to hear your opinion on that.
Well, I never really gave it much thought myself. It depends on what you're trying to do with it, I guess. If you're trying to make a supremely accurate shot, I would say perception. But like you said, if you're trying to go for a regular hit, I guess athletics.
Okay. Yeah, because when I think of perception, I don't think of like more of accuracy. I think of just visually what they're able to see, like what catches their eye, basically. But to make a long story short, Jeklar is going to make an acrobatics check on it, I guess. Well, it's an attack, so I don't really even know if that's the same thing or not. But he rolls a 2, and if I were to go with athletics, he has a +1, so a 3 is still going to be a miss. The arrow goes completely off to the side, nowhere near this spider, which is crazy considering the size of it. Like, let's say this road is probably about 20 feet wide. I'm going to say this spider pretty much takes the middle of the road up. I'd say maybe there's a couple feet. So if it's a 20-foot wide road, let's say this spider's at least 16 feet wide with his legs out.
Dude, I'd run from that motherfucker in real life.
For sure. So Jeklar looks very disappointed in himself, and now is Avalon's turn. Avalon only has his longsword. I think this being his first time, he kind of panics. He looks at both of y'all and looks at how calm y'all are compared to how he's feeling, and he's going to step behind you. And that was what we call a hide action. He uses his action to hide.
Alright. What a wimp.
Yeah. That brings us back to the spider's turn. And he is going to shoot another web directly at Jeklar. He has a critical failure. So when he shoots this web out, basically it's almost like nothing comes out, and then suddenly there's like a giant squish out, almost like you're squeezing the juice out of something, of web out of his ass just on the ground. And he begins to start crawling closer to you, or to the group. And that is his turn.
Alright. So how close is he to me right now?
I'd say he's probably still about 40 feet. He can move up to 30 feet per turn, but he didn't. He only went up 10 feet.
Alright, I'm about to shoot a firebolt at this dude. Let's roll it. What do I need to roll?
Alright, for firebolt, just roll your 20.
I rolled a 15.
Alright, that is going to be... But he does not dodge it, so you are going to hit this guy with 1d10 damage.
Alright, you roll this d10. I rolled a 5.
Yes, so he is going to take 5 damage, and then he has to roll, and he does avoid being set on fire. And that will put the roll on Jeklar. Jeklar is going to try and take another shot at this bad boy. And once again, Jeklar does miss. Pretty much shoots off about the same distance towards him, but on the opposite side this time. Jeklar is getting quite frustrated with his shots. Avalon is going to step back, and he's going to pull out a longbow finally. But he's shaking the whole time, and he's really so instilled with fear, it's going to put him at disadvantage. So he is going to attempt to shoot at this thing, but he has to take the lower of his rolls. His first roll is an 8, and his second is 11. So he does miss, but he got a lot closer than Jeklar did. I'd say he missed it by a couple feet maybe, just off to the left of his legs. And that will make it the spider's turn again. The spider is going to immediately start charging towards y'all, full speed. And this time, he is not shooting out any webs towards you. He is coming in for a bite. He rolls 15, coming straight at Jeklar. So, that is a hit for sure. Let's see, a bite is 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage. A 6 plus 3. Jeklar takes 9 damage.
Damn.
Yeah. Jeklar, as it bites Jeklar, he falls onto the ground and lets out a loud scream. And he has to make a save, which is very scary. It's a Constitution save, which he gets no benefits to. But he does make it literally on the dot. Had he not made that roll, he would take poison damage. Alright, well, the spider is now right up in your face, and it is your turn. And you did use one spell slot.
Alright, I can pull out a weapon and attack in the same turn, right?
I'm gonna say yes. Some people, I think, you can't pull out and use the same weapon, but for us, we're doing that because there's a lot going on.
Alright, so I'm gonna pull out the long sword, and I'm gonna slash at this spider.
Alright, roll me a 20.
Alright. Fuck. I rolled a 3.
Ooh, a 3? I don't think that's gonna quite cut it. As you go to swing your sword at him, he just happens to be lifting that leg into the air at the time for another step, and you swing right under his leg.
Damn.
Jeklar swaps out for his quarterstaff real quick, and he goes to jab upward towards, like, the bottom side of it, but in the center, not at its legs. And he just hits it right on Jeklar. I don't really know how important the types of damage are, but there's slicing damage, piercing damage, fire damage, bludgeoning. So, I technically don't know what that's all about. Maybe it just has an effect on, like, the roleplay aspect. But regardless, Jeklar does hit him, and he gets to roll a 1d8. And just to be on the safe side, I am going to Google it in case there's any benefits to hitting with it. Like a scimitar gets a +1 piercing damage. Okay, and it says monks and wizards are proficient with the quarterstaff. So it does get a +2 when you use your quarterstaff and when he uses it. That I did not know until this very moment.
Wow.
Alright. Jeklar hits him for 6 damage +2 proficiency. So Jeklar does 8. And this thing kind of leaps up a little bit in like a reaction to it. And kind of takes a good little step back. Like I'd say 5 feet.
Fuck yeah, man. 8 damage.
Next is Avalon's turn. Avalon, as this thing's right up in your face, he just can't take it, man. He throws his bow on the ground and turns around and he runs towards a tree.
God damn, what a wimp.
Very much so. So that would put you, or actually no, that puts the spider back in turn. Alright, the spider is going to try to go after Avalon as it sees him as the easiest target right now. Spider. What was that dude's armor class? I
have no idea.
Alright, the spider does hit, and he is biting him again, which would be the same roll, which is a 1d8 +3. So he takes 7 damage, and let's see if he's going to survive this Constitution save. He needs to beat an 11, and he did not. So that makes him taking the poison damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Oh, so you're still supposed to take the poison damage on a successful save, but we're not going to do that for this fight since I already messed that up.
Okay.
But that means he takes a d8, and he takes 5 damage. So this thing has jumped on top of him. He's screaming, yelling for help. Help, help! This thing takes a big chunk right out of his shoulder. Blood's oozing everywhere. and you can immediately see in his face, this man is no longer well. All his skin has turned like a pale white. He is not even bothering to try and stand up anymore. He's just laying there in pure agony right now. And that makes it your turn. Because you are now behind this, you do roll with advantage.
I'm going to slash at this thing on my longsword.
Alright, make that roll.
I had to roll twice, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Unless you get like a natural 20 or something, that don't even bother. You know you got that shit.
Alright, I just rolled 2 of them, and I got a 7 and an 8.
Alright, so
I get 8.
An 8's not gonna cut it. As you go to stab, he just happens to be kind of moving a little forward, like he's about to lean forward into Avalon's body again, and it causes you to miss. So, Jeklar, also, Jeklar turns to you real quick. Quarterstaff, man, quarterstaff! And then he goes to swing his at it too. The only reason I think Jeklar would recommend this is because not only are you a wizard, but a longsword does damage of 1d8 with no bonus, while your quarterstaff will do the same, but the +2. But Jeklar, he rolls to hit it, and he misses too. It just happens to kick one of his legs back, and as Jeklar tries to swing, the oncoming leg makes him jump back in defense, basically, causing him to miss. This would make it Avalon's turn. I'm going to say, or he is going to slowly, very slowly, grab at the sword he had with him and kind of just poke at it, but he's rolling at a major disadvantage for sure. He rolled a 10, and his other roll is an 11, so they both fail. He goes to poke at it, but the weight of this creature and his injured shoulder, he can't even really hold the weapon in his hand. Time he goes to swing upward at it, he just lets go, and it does not work out. And the spider is going to take another bite at this man. Oh my god. The spider bites right down on top of his head. He literally has his whole head in his mouth right now. It does a 2 + 5, and Avalon will no longer need to make a saving throw, as it bites his head right off in front of you. His entire head, and it eats it.
Well, I just failed my fucking quest.
Yes, this man is very dead, and the spider starts turning around towards you. It is now your turn.
Well, I guess I ain't got much of a choice now. I'm gonna slash at him. Wait. I'm gonna take out my quarterstaff, and I'm gonna hit this motherfucker.
Alright, that would be another 20.
Alright. I rolled 8.
That's gonna be another miss. As you go to swing your... Oh wait, you do get a plus... No, that's a damage thing. But just in case, I'll give you a +2, but either way, it still misses. As this thing's turning and you take a swing with your quarterstaff, you just happen to hit right in between the spot of his legs, just barely missing. And Jeklar is going to try to react fast. He is going to swing at him, and oh man, Jeklar hits this thing almost perfect. He swings quarterstaff and hits him right in the bend of one of his legs. 6 + 2, that is another 8 damage. The spider jumps back, and you could tell its leg is no longer supporting it the way it was before. He's not putting any weight on that. And it would be Avalon's turn, but I think it's hard for him to roll with no head, so that is going to put it back on the spider. The spider, he does not come charging at you guys this time. He shoots a web up into the air and it hits onto some treetops that you can't see, and he begins pulling himself up with it, and that would put you back in turn.
I'm about to cast Firebolt at his ass.
Alright. So just a normal hit die, I think.
Which one do I roll again?
20 die. I shouldn't have said hit die. Hit die is when you do damage. You're just rolling to attack it, so roll your 20.
19, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. So, basically, as he starts going up, You just shoot this motherfucker right in his asshole with this thing, like dead on. Go ahead and give me a 1d10 roll.
4.
You got a 4. Alright, and then I'm going to roll to see if he catches on fire. That was wisdom based, right? Magic is, I'm assuming.
I'm not sure.
Well, as soon as you hit him with the fireball, it immediately lets go. And you can see his, as it's falling, its ass is still on fire. And it is going to take another damage. And it takes 3. So, as this thing's ass just bursts into flames, it comes crashing down with such an impact on the ground that it kind of shakes you and Jeklar a little bit. You can even see old dude over there's body shaking from the hit. But as it hits the ground, this thing is no longer moving, and this fire just continues to burn over it. You have killed the giant spider.
I shot him in the ass and killed him.
Now that combat is over, Jeklar looks at the dead body, he looks at you, and then he immediately looks to Avalon's body. I don't think we did this right.
It's not my fault the poor wimp got himself killed.
You think we could get the head back and take him back?
Probably not a good idea. Let's avoid that woman from now on.
You really think we should?
Yeah.
He scratches his chin a little bit. He looks at you and he's like, "Alright, you're the boss, man. You're the boss."
Yeah, let's get that gold off of him real quick.
Bingo. I was hoping you were gonna remember. So you do get 2 or 20 gold. I was gonna say, ain't you glad you gave him full price? But I guess if you had got a deal, you still would have kept the rest. So quite the interesting turn of events. So you picked up this man's gold, or this body's gold. There's a giant burning spider in the middle of the road. Now what?
So, let me get this straight. That thing that was hanging like a pendulum is still there, right?
Nah, it's not there anymore. When the spider originally jumped down, he landed right on top of it. He's not in the same place he was, so you can see where it was, but now it is on the ground and completely flattened, and upon closer inspection, you can see blood is all around this thing. Or soaking through it, I should say that.
Damn. I was kind of hoping it was like a little pet or something.
Well, it potentially could have been, but now all you know is that it is a pile of mush and blood.
Alright, so, I guess we proceed to the produce farm.
Alright. Jeklar kind of looks you over. He says, You feeling alright, man? I think, we both took a couple hard hits in there. Or actually, you didn't get hit at all, did you?
No, I didn't get hit at all.
Fucking lucky you, shit.
Oh.
Jeklar kind of looks himself over. I am feeling a bit worn. I think that... Did he bite Jeklar?
Yeah, he bit Jeklar.
Okay. I'm not feeling very well. I think I could use a rest. Would you maybe like to camp for the night? Or just find somewhere we can kind of freshen up, per se? I give a hell of a campfire story.
Alright, we'll make a camp.
Actually, man, to be honest, you don't even gotta make a camp. You're standing at a giant fucking burning spider corpse.
Alright, we'll hang around the spider corpse and make camp.
Jeklar goes over to this dead body and he grabs the bags and he walks over. I hope you like cooked beets. We got plenty. Now, just for the record, do you, Blake, like beets?
I've eaten them. I don't mind them.
The only way I particularly have tried them that I enjoyed was like a pickled beet, but that was just some information I wanted to know for me.
I've had them in like stews and whatnot.
I didn't think of that in a stew. Nice.
They're actually pretty crispy, and whatever you cook them in, whatever broth or whatever, it kind of makes them take on that flavor.
I wonder if you could make like a beet spider stew. So, Jeklar, he's sitting there, you and him are sitting around this spider, He's kind of picking into the beets and eating a couple here, just trying to relax. Do you have anything you want to address or do? Do you want some beets? You know, feeling peckish?
Well, my guy's sitting there eating some beets alongside Jeklar. So, Jeklar, where are you from, man? I don't know anything about you.
He kind of stops dead in his tracks and puts a half-eaten beet piece back into the bag. Okay. I'm from a town not far off of the Aslock Kingdom, but I used to reside in a fox sun. I had quite the wonderful life. Like, I don't think anything in my life could ever compare to how happy I was at that time. But things took a very unfortunate turn of events, and I lost everything and everyone. And I've spent the last maybe 5 years, I really have stopped counting. But I've spent all that time as a jester to entertain the king and his people. But really, the king doesn't care about me. It was his asshole high knights who put me in this position.
So, Jeklar, that's a pretty awful backstory. But you're no good with the bow.
He chuckles. He's like, I'd say I've had my moments, but not too many times a giant spider will burst in front of you and you're gonna pop off 100% like you're I was gonna reference like a sharpshooter type of person, but even in real life I can't think of somebody who's just like a professional shooter or like an amazing shot. Can you happen to think of anyone in real life?
Marine snipers? Like, my father, he wasn't a Marine, but there's this test where, you can, if you get all the targets in the right way, you get, like, a certain medal. My dad had one.
Right on. So let's see. I'm trying to think of the way Jeklar could label... Well, let's just say he said, I'm certainly, not many people are going to have a giant spider jump in front of them and pop off as a sharpshooter on the spot. I definitely was a bit surprised, but I'll do better. Little practice makes perfect.
Just curious, would you happen to know any magic, Jeklar?
He makes another frown. I once, somewhat still am, but once was a pretty solid wizard or magician, whichever you would prefer to call it. I actually dealt with a lot of healing magic. I considered myself a wizard and a cleric at one point. A little bit of the best of both worlds. But with the challenges I have endured, I have found some issues maintaining my faith. And a lot of my power comes from my belief in my divinity. And I have since lost all of that with the tragedies that have occurred to me. And I, for a long time, have not seen any reason to care for anything. It was until I met you, only a matter of a day or two ago, that I felt any sort of inspiration or hope.
Well, my friend, if you're able to use magic, I can assure you it would help us in our journey. Maybe you can define your divinity again.
He kind of puts his hands together and swirls his thumbs around each other. I do see reason now to maybe realign my faith, but for me to feel secure and genuine, I may have to put a bit of time into this. I need to, perhaps go to the church and, rekindle my connection with this lord of mine or this divinity. It's just so hard to see why some god would put anyone through the kinds of things they do. How am I supposed to trust and put my faith in this being if it takes everything from me?
Well, I would imagine that would make it real. I don't really know what to say to this.
That's okay. He kind of senses your silence. He nods his head. Maybe a conversation for another time and a goal to have in mind. I will work on building myself back up to where I need to be. But here, standing 5 feet from our mercenary to keep us safe, and this burning spider, maybe now is not quite the time for me to try and make this change. Would you like to verbally address anything or do anything before your rest is over?
No, not really.
Alright. So, yeah, this thing's burning really well. I don't know if spiders are just super flammable. Maybe it's all the webs built up in him, but he burns throughout the night, and you guys are able to have yourselves a nice long rest, and you've touched base, you've learned a little bit more about Jeklar. He did not learn too much about you, but he did not ask very many questions.
Oh, that's alright. I don't have much of a backstory for Oromis.
That's okay. We'll conjure up some stuff over time. But you and Jeklar awake very well, refreshing in the morning. Jeklar a little bit more sore than he expected, but he's feeling alright. So, you guys are able to journey back on or continue on with your journey if you would like.
Alright, so I guess we continue on our journey to the produce village.
So, this is an updated version. Okay, so that picture is actually a little messed up, but I'll update it later. But you see the carrot at the top, the bigger one? When I say the top, below where the tavern and stuff was.
Yeah, I see the carrot.
Okay. For some reason, in the Discord chat, I can literally see 2 of that carrot for some reason. But when I clicked on the picture just now, that is not the case.
We're headed south, right?
Yes, you're heading closer towards your fox sun. You're only about halfway, though, if that. You've still got yourselves quite the lengthy journey. And, unless you were, flying or something, you pretty much know it's going to be maybe another day or 2 before you get there.
Okay, how much XP did I get for that spider?
So actually, you got 200 XP for killing that. So actually, with that being said, good memory, we can go ahead and apply that, and that will allow you to level up.
Oh, yeah. 200?
Yeah, 200. So, when you did the level up, did anything happen? On your sheet or anything?
When I leveled up, I had to do it still said level 1 over in the right-hand side. I changed that to 2, and that exclamation point went away.
So, for a wizard, you will get to roll a 6-sided dice, plus your constitution modifier, which I believe is 2, to see how high or how much health you will gain.
Alright, I need to get to my, character sheet real quick. I don't remember what my constitution shit was.
It's either 1 or 2, I'm pretty sure. You get a +1.
Alright, so roll a d6, and I get a +1 to it, right?
Yes.
I rolled a 3, and +1, that'll be 4.
Alright, so that should put you at 11 health. Not quite as high as I was thinking it would do it, but what would it be? It says at wizard level 2, you get arcane tradition bonus. So you know how we get the quarterstaff bonus when we hit?
Mm-hmm.
It says a first level wizard gets +2 to spells. So when you did the firebolt, your roll should have automatically been +2. I did not know that, but we do now.
So wait, what now?
Okay, so when you did your firebolt to see if you hit, you should have automatically added 2 to it. So if you rolled a 12, it would have become a 14 instead. So, and that's with any spell.
Oh, hell yeah.
The more you know. Alright, but so you did level up, so awesome. Jeklar did a little something. He didn't level up, but he did something. So you guys are awakened, you're freshly leveled up, you're feeling pretty tremendous, man. You just upgraded.
Fuck yeah.
How would you like to start your day?
I like to get to Produce Village. I guess we continue on the same path we're going.
Alright. I'm going to need you to roll a 1d4.
Alright. A d4. Oh, there it is. And it's 3.
Alright. As you and Jeklar are just minding your own business, following along these paths trying to make your way to Produce Village, you hear a loud "Whoo!" And suddenly, 3 wolves run into the middle of the road, facing you and Jeklar. And I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
Woohoo! 19 plus 2.
Hell yeah. So
21.
You are going to be first. Well, technically you're supposed to roll the 10-sided die, but either way you still made the highest you can make almost.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. Alright, so you got all these wolf boys in front of you, and there you can tell, one of them's got blood all down his mouth. They look real rough. You can tell these are some wild mutts for sure. And they obviously been eating some stuff. One of them, he's even letting out a bunch of not foam, but it's really bubbly spit as he kind of grits his teeth at you real hungrily
Alright, so how far away are they from me?
I'm gonna say they are 15 feet in front of you guys.
Oh, this is easy. Alright, Jeklar, put your hands over your ears, and I'm going to use Thunderclap.
He quickly shields them. And you also do have 2 spells again because you took that rest and it put everybody back to full health. So you summon Thunderclap. Go ahead and roll your 20, and we just determined you get plus 2 to whatever your roll is.
Rolled a 5, so plus 2, that'd be 7.
7. Roll it again. I'm gonna say you get advantage because what you're doing is something that creates a really loud thing, and wolves have very sensitive hearing.
Yeah, that was what I was intending. I rolled a 17 plus 2.
Alright, so with that being said, I think they're technically supposed to make a Constitution save, but we're gonna go ahead and roll with it for now since we already had this discussion a little bit. All 3 of them will be hit, and you have to roll a 1d6 for them.
For each one?
Yeah.
Alright, d6, 3 times. Alright, I rolled a 1, a 4, and a 5. You can allocate whichever one you want to take damage. I guess the closest one to me, if they're standing in a triangle, would take the 5.
They all kinda immediately yelp and take a step back as their ears are ringing more than they've ever felt. I'd say it hurts them for a second, but you can kind of tell they just try and knock it off real fast. Next would be Jeklar, who pulls out his quarterstaff, and he is going to, let's see how fast, he can move 30 feet in a turn. So he is going to go running at the one that seemed the closest, that took the biggest hit, and he is going to swing his quarterstaff at them. He rolls 18, so that is going to be a hit, and he's going to roll a 1d8. He gets a 2 plus a 2 because it's a quarterstaff, and does 4 damage to what we'll call wolf number 3. Alright, and that puts it at Wolf 1's turn. The wolf is going to immediately attack Jeklar as he hits his buddy. Okay, and I have 11. So unfortunately, it does just hit me with a bite, which is 2d4 damage. So Jeklar gets it right back and takes 4 damage from this wolf as it bites him. And the second wolf is going to immediately attack Jeklar the exact same way. And it fucking hits really well. Let's see, that is 3 plus 2. Jeklar takes 5 damage. And it is the third wolf's turn. The one that you hurt the most. And it comes bolting at you, ready to bite. And it says, this wolf has advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet. So technically he gets to choose the better roll.
Alright.
That was a 2, and that was a 20. So he fucking hits that shit like crazy. Alright? And he hops right on top of you and bites down at your shoulder, dealing 2d4. That is 1 plus 4. So you do take 5 damage.
Ouch.
And that puts it back to your turn in rotation.
You said 5 damage?
Yeah. I have been writing down your health and stuff. That probably puts you at 6, right? Just to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, I have 6. So I take out my quarterstaff, and I'm about to whop this damn wolf that just bit me.
Alright. So roll your 20.
I rolled a 13.
Alright, 13 hits. So you do 1d8 plus 2.
I rolled a fucking 1. So 3.
And that's gonna do it. As you, now you were on the, like, he was basically on you, so as you swing, you hit him off of you, and I'd say you probably hit him real well right in the face with it, like almost right in his snout, and basically time you do, he just falls backwards and lets out a and stops moving. And this catches both of the other wolves' attention. Jeklar, on his turn, the poor man does not have any healing potions, so he is just going to take these two that are now facing you, and he is going to attack the second one with advantage because they're not looking towards him. Oh yeah, he hits that motherfucker hard in the back. 3 plus 2 would be 5. So he sticks this thing right into the back of this, or he basically, let's just say he swings his shit right down onto the back of it. Probably hard enough that I would say this creature needs to make a strength throw or strength save to see if it's going to knock him on his ass. He won't die, but he going to fall and not be moving during this turn. So I'm going to roll for the wolf. Oh yeah, he takes that shit like a champ, like better than ever. Like that shit hits him in the back and it hurt him, but he just kind of cocks his head back like, who the fuck do you think you are? And that will make it the first wolf's turn. So the first wolf is going to... Oh wait, we killed one. One of the wolves died, right? You killed one?
I killed one of them, the one that bit me.
Notated. One of these wolves is going to lunge towards you for another bite, and he misses. He jumps right past you and lands on the ground behind you, but he acts real fast and turns straight towards you. And that will make it the next wolf's turn, and he is going to lunge at Jeklar. And he rolled a critical failure. So, as he lunges straight towards Jeklar, Jeklar quickly jumps to the right, and we've been walking for a while, right? We're not at that fire anymore, I believe. So, as the wolf dives towards Jeklar, he goes face first into the ground, and he is going to take small bludgeoning damage. I'm going to roll a 1d4. I don't know what kind of damage that would really be.
Alright.
And he takes 4 damage. And I guess this motherfucker just dives so hard at me that he just crushed his own face into the ground. Like, you can literally see as his snout pushed in like you're pushing a balloon, like you're poking in the end of it and your finger's going through, but the balloon's still there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So this motherfucker dead as fuck. And that puts it back to you. There is one wolf remaining.
And I'm about to whop him with my quarterstaff.
Alright, roll that 20.
Every time I think of him hitting with that quarterstaff, I'm thinking of him swinging it and hitting him real hard.
Like a baseball bat, right?
Yeah, I rolled a 9. So plus 2, right?
I think that's usually with the damage, to be honest. But even with the plus 2, that is not going to be a hit. So you take a swing at him, and this wolf was already kind of staring you down. So he just lunges back real quick and readies himself to go again. Jeklar, real quick, pulls out his longbow and aims for a shot. He looks at you before he takes a shot and he says, "Practice makes perfect." And apparently not perfect enough. His arrow shoots pretty far off to the right, and he rolls his eyes tremendously. And it will be the wolf's turn again. The wolf is going to strike at you, and he rolled a 6, so that is not going to hit. He just, real quickly, being thrown off a little bit from Jeklar just shooting at him, he jumps towards you, but not close enough to secure his hit. So he's still right in front of you, but he just missed. And that puts it back on you.
Alright, time to hit him with his quarterstaff again.
Alright.
Alright, I rolled a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Jesus. That's not gonna do it. You go to swing, he jumps back one more time. He looking real pissed now. He starts foaming out of the mouth, and you can just see, like, hatred in this thing's eyes. like nothing you've really ever seen out of an animal. And while this thing's looking at you, Jeklar's gonna pop off another shot and wish he had a god to pray to still. And that is going to be barely a hit. So what was my longbow? 1d8? He does 2 damage. So this arrow shoots into the back of the wolf. It kind of jerks his head towards Jeklar, and you can tell like he a little bit of blood spurting out the wound. But he's still ready to fuck me up. This wolf is now going to charge at Jeklar. Oh my god. Okay, he rolled a 18, so that is going to be a hit. It's not looking good.
Oh no.
1. Oh my god. If he gets a 2 or anything higher, I'll die. Ooh, it's a 1. He did 2 damage out of the 3 that Jeklar has. This thing lunges right on top of Jeklar, knocking him to the ground. It takes another chunk out of him, almost biting right beside his femoral artery. Is that the right word? Do you know?
Oh, he's biting him in the neck. You can say jugular.
Jugular, yeah, let's go for that. This thing jumps on top of Jeklar and takes a nice chunk right next to his jugular. Jeklar lets out a loud "Ah!" And that puts it as your turn, as he is on the ground getting his ass chewed up.
Well, since I guess the wolf is distracted, I can get advantage, right?
I will grant you advantage for that, yes.
Alright, I'm about to try and hit him. Alright, so I rolled a d20. I rolled a 12. Do I roll again, or?
Yeah, roll again. That's not gonna cut it.
Son of a fucking bitch. I rolled a 2.
Jesus, okay. You try to swing, but you're real hesitant because of, what's it called? Because of Jeklar being there, you don't want to hit him. You can tell he's fucked up already. So when you kind of swing, you're too hesitant, and you kind of pull it back a little bit, and it just barely misses its ass. But it comes really close to Jeklar's foot as well. Now, Jeklar, at disadvantage, is going to try and take his long... Actually, I don't think he could use his longbow. So he's probably going to take his dagger from his side. I think he does have a dagger. Oh, just his simple weapons. I don't know if that can... Oh, okay. So I am learning something right now. You know how on the side it says weapons, longbow, longsword, short sword, blah, blah, blah?
Mm-hmm.
Those are not the weapons we have. We're going to say we have them now because we already been rolling with it. But that is just telling you which ones you get a proficiency bonus in. Anytime you're using a longsword, you're supposed to get a +1. I'd have to look further into it, but oops, the boy you know. At least we got a bunch of free weapons out of it.
Right.
Okay, so Jeklar is going to use, I guess, his longsword at disadvantage to try and stab this thing real quick. He gets a 7, and that's pretty much a guaranteed miss right there. Yeah, I got a 12 the next one, so both of those miss. He tries kind of frantically swinging this sword around, trying to hit the wolf, but no luck. It just kind of misses all, and the wolf's too in his face. Suddenly, the wolf hops off of him. He kind of growls real loud, and I guess he's going to go for Jeklar again. I hate to say it, but it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
That's okay. He does not hit, thankfully. He kind of goes to nip at my foot, try and pull the whole thing off, but he hits the ground in between my foot, just about where you hit last time with the quarterstaff. And it is your go now.
Alright, let's see if I can hit this thing on my damn quarterstaff. Because I keep missing.
Jeklar kind of whispers to you. Well, he says it out loud, but he's like, "Save me!"
Alright. And bam, nat 20.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So, roll your 1d8. I think different people handle critical attacks differently. I think for the sake of it, is we just roll our damage dice double what we normally would. So, like, if you were about to roll a 1d8, you roll 2d8 instead.
Well, I just rolled a 4 and a 6, so I just do 10 damage, I guess.
Alright, and you're using the quarterstaff, so that's +2 on top of those.
So 12.
Right on. And that is going to do it. You hit this motherfucker hard in the back, like hard. You hear his fucking spine snap. You hit him so hard. He lets out the start of a howl, like a and then it stops, and this thing just falls there. He couldn't even get the rest of his cry out. You have killed these 3 wolves. Almost Jeklar.
Alright, how much experience is that?
Those are 50 apiece, so that is 150 experience for you.
Alright, and now that I still have 1 spell slot left, I'm going to use that to do, actually no, I'm going to give him a potion of healing.
Jeklar barely stands up to grab it. He says, Thank you so much. I think I may not need to use longbows anymore.
Yeah, it almost got you killed, Jeklar. And me.
He looks at the potion, and he kind of looks around. He says, I think we're getting quite close. Possibly, I may not even need this. I'm feeling pretty weak, but if we can just get just a little bit closer, I think we could probably find a place to rest if Produce Village is up and running, because we're really close. I'd say less than a day's travel now. But I'll hold on to it just in case I come in need until we get there.
Alright. Let's find a spot to rest then.
So you guys are going to probably travel. Unless are you wanting to get to Produce Village to rest, or you're going to rest somewhere right around here?
Somewhere right around here. We need to go ahead and rest so we don't die.
Alright. So you roll me a 20 real quick. It's a survival check, which you get +2 to. This is to build your fire.
Rolled a 15, so +2 be 17.
Yeah, you pretty much find everything you need. You see some sticks over there. You see some fucking dead wolf fur. You pretty much got everything, And you shoot fire, so that helps. So you cooked yourselves up a little fire. You're resting. Jeklar still has been carrying along this bag of beets, so he's kind of snacking on those. He's feeling a lot better, but he is one sore son of a elf. Would you like to initiate any sort of dialogue or anything?
So how about the arrows, Jeklar? You kind of suck.
He chuckles as he stuffs another beet into his mouth. No, Mom, no, I don't really know what's going on. Nope. He swallows his beet. I've never been much of a bow fellow, usually. I've never actually been quite the fighter. I have quite the interest in music or magic and healing per se, but I've never really felt the need to attack people. I have before this, I was quite the doctor. People came to me from all over the place.
Well, do you know how to make potions of healing?
I believe with the right items or materials, I could potentially do it, but I think it would take some time and probably the appropriate setting.
Maybe when we get to Produce Village, we can make some potions.
We shall see if we can pull that off. I'm looking at your character sheet. You have +4 to medicine, and he does as well. Y'all have the same wisdom. He is 13, and you have 14. Oh, no. We both have 14 charisma. Wisdom. He takes another bite of his beet. Are you very familiar with this region?
I'm not from here, so no, I am not.
So you don't know where you come from necessarily then, do you?
Yeah, my writer didn't give me a backstory.
Well, I don't know what that means, but perhaps I could help you locate where you're from. I know the general locations of the world. I don't know all the details, but I know the 13 main regions of this area. You're a high elf, so potentially were you family with elves? Did you live with other elves possibly? You can make this up or however you feel right now, or if you just be like, Jeklar, I don't want to talk about this. That's cool too.
Jeklar, I don't want to talk about this.
He shrugs and nods. I understand. Well, let's take us this rest, and we can begin strong in the morning.
Alright, Jeklar, we can do that.